Hey everybody, this is Nikki Thinks, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about just probably some deep stuff. I'm going to touch base with a little bit of what I said in the forgiveness post that I posted on the Tumblr, that some people have read, some people haven't. So if you follow me for mainly just sports, I'll see y'all on the next video. Don't forget, Packers, Bears Thursday night. NFL starts this week in week 2 of college football. But let's dive into something that when I woke up this morning, it just has been like weighing on me all day long. Something that I really wanted to share with you guys who did not read the Tumblr post about, I posted on there something about forgiveness. It's called Forgiveness is Not for Other People. And in that, I kind of explain how I got that. So I basically got it because I heard somewhere that forgiveness is not for other people, it's for you. And that saying, when I first heard it, it was like kind of like a weight was lifted off my shoulders in a way. It's something that forgiving people and forgiving myself was something that I really struggled with growing up and still struggle with. It's hard for me I'm so hard on myself that it's hard for me to take a step back from a situation and be like, oh man, I forgive myself for being that angry, or I forgive myself for being that sad, or whatever emotion you have. It's just growing up, I just had a hard time forgiving myself. I was so quick to forgive others. I was always the one saying I'm sorry. That I never took a time to realize how that took a toll on me and my relationship with myself. But I mean, and stuff has happened in my life. I'm not gonna make a video like this or make a post like that and say, I had the best childhood and I had the easiest, and no. But it wasn't the hardest, and it could have been harder. And I had a good childhood. I did. So yeah, we'll just kind of dive right into that. And I'll be saying some Bible verses, and I have on the computer over here, so I can reference back to that post and to some verses. I'm not really good at memorization, so that's not really a strong suit of mine. But, I've been, and like I said earlier, this is probably going to get really deep and it's going to get real, but I want to open up. I'm doing this whole thing to be more open and to be honest with people, because one of my goals is to help somebody, to help anybody. So how can I do that if I'm not honest and if I'm not open and willing to be subjectified to whatever comments or anything that come my way? This is something that I signed up in my mind to do, and this is something that I can't just go in half-hearted. I got to do this full mind, full body, full strength, full heart, all of it. I have to do it 100% me and who I am. So this might be uncomfortable to some, and I apologize, but like I said, this is just who I am. This is how it's gonna go. But yeah, I've been abused before, and I've felt like lower than dirt. I've felt like the literal scum on the earth. But and physically and emotionally and mentally, all of it is just the health of it all. Just I've suffered, and I'm fixing it. Therapy and all that stuff is a great thing. People think it's like some taboo to talk to a stranger about your feelings and all that stuff, but it's really helped me, and it's going to continue to help me, and it's something that I don't mind doing for the rest of my life. I have no shame in saying that I see a therapist, because it's good to have that outside perspective. It's good just instead of just wallowing at home on your couch about how sad or anything you are, which is okay to do. it's also okay to go see somebody who is licensed in helping people. They're there for a reason, you know. That's a degree for a reason, and those people get that degree to help people. But I felt really bad because I was so hard on myself, because I was in those situations, those abusive situations. I felt bad for like my friends and my family, because they had to deal with my attitude, and they had to deal with basically how I was treating them, which was not fair at all. And some of my family and friends don't even know that I was abused. And it very, very, very rarely was it physical, but most of it was mentally and emotionally just abusive. You know, getting called you're trash and you're no good, and just, I mean, and that's just like the nice things. But I felt, when me and Aaron started dating and started seriously dating, I felt really, really, really bad for him. How can I love somebody when I don't love myself? And I was kind of angry at myself. I said, you know, it's no fair for him to fall in love with somebody like me, who's been through all of this stuff, who doesn't even love herself, or doesn't see herself the way that he sees her. It's not fair. It wasn't, you know, it really, it took a toll on our relationship for a long time. And he's gonna watch this, and he's gonna say, you know, he's gonna say all the right things, because he always does. But I was really, really angry at myself for falling in love with somebody who I knew I didn't deserve, who sometimes I still don't think I deserve, because he is my soulmate. He is who God put in my life. He's my person. He is who I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with, and I know it. But I was really angry and like worried and frustrated and just upset that I chose to, or not even chose, but I'm in love with somebody, and that person's in love with me, and I don't see what they see. I don't hear what they hear. I mean, to me, I was still scum. To me, I was still trash. And that's not okay. And it took me a long time, and I just kept thinking, and I kept praying, and the one word that popped up in all my prayers, and when I was reading my Bible and reading all these things, the one word that popped up was forgiveness. Forgive. Forgive, forgive, forgive. And then it like hit me. I just like, I forgave. I had to, in order to forgive, what I kept thinking was, why is that word popping up? Why is God telling me that forgiveness and forgive is something that I have to do? Who do I have to do it to? Do I have to forgive the person who did all those abusive things to me? Maybe. And I tried. I reached out to that person, because that's what I thought I was supposed to do. And then I saw that phrase, forgiveness is not for other people, it's for you. And it hit me. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm supposed to be forgiving myself for allowing myself to get so down and not realize the blessing that God just put in my life, and not realize and understand that I found somebody who doesn't care about my past, who wants to help me cope with my past, and who wants to just love me for who I am, because he sees me, who I truly am. And then I forgave myself for doubting Aaron and his love, which was not fair at all. And it still to this day makes me want to choke up a little bit, because how dare I doubt somebody who keeps telling me all the right things that I've been waiting so long to hear my whole life, and all the things and that you hear in like the Hallmark movies. I mean, just sweetest person I've ever met, and I'm doubting him and his love for me. And I got angry at myself. And then I saw the same phrase, or I heard the same phrase, and your whole life is a constant battle with yourself. Because the first person we are the hardest on is ourselves. And I don't really care who you are. The first person we're going to blame in somehow, some way, and when we sit down and calm down, is we're going to blame ourselves for either acting that way, thinking that way, talking that way. It's just we're going to blame ourselves somehow, some way. God has a mysterious way of working. He really does. So once I forgave myself for doubting Aaron and for doubting me and doubting that I can be a better person and that whatever happened for a reason to make me who I am, it all just, I was just like, a weight was lifted. I was just happier. But I've had some things that happened, especially recently, and I know some of my family watches this, so they might get upset that I talk about it, but this is just my truth, and how I feel about certain things. It's called Nikki Thinks, and I want to apologize if I upset anybody who's close to the situation. I don't mean to do that. I don't mean to offend anybody or upset anybody. But yeah, here we go. So back in December, or actually back in late October, early November, my grandmother got diagnosed with stage 4 glioblastoma brain cancer. At first we just saw a tumor, which the doctor said could have been anything. So I wasn't really thinking about it too much. I was just kind of going through, okay, she has this doctor's appointment, this is the date of her surgery, I gotta take off of work, alright, we're gonna be good. There was so many possibilities of what it was that I refused to let my mind go to what it became. But she had the surgery, and when the doctor came out, he kind of confirmed that it was cancer and it was stage 4. And I went to the chapel at the hospital and broke down. I mean, complete breakdown. I was shaking. I was just looking up and panting, and I wasn't even crying. I was blubbering and screaming, basically. I mean, I was just having a breakdown because I was angry. I was really angry. I was angry that, I let this happen, that I didn't watch out for the signs and symptoms. A little part of me was angry at everybody else who was around her who didn't watch out for it. And now that I've calmed down, but now that I've looked back, that was uncool of me to be angry at people who loved her just as much as I loved her, if not more, because no one could have seen, like, oh, she just has a headache, so that's no one could have seen that, and no one could have predicted this. Trust me, none of us wanted this, not even her. But I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. There's always a plan. And I don't really want to start crying, but that's okay if I do, because that just means that I'm being honest, and that's what I want to do with this, is just be honest. But once I thought about it and calmed down a little bit, and we had a plan, we had the plan of chemo and radiation, and to fight this as hard as she could, I forgave the doctors, I forgave my family and my friends, but then I was really still angry. I was angry at God, because in my head, how could he, of all people, of all things holy, let this happen to someone who loves him and and follows him? And why does he think it's okay to take her away? Then back in, like I said, in surgery he removed the tumor, but back in December she was just really sick. And so we went and got her checked out, and the tumor came back stronger and bigger than before. And she decided to not continue treatment and just to live out her life, at home, instead of just stuck in a hospital going back and forth. And I was angry and upset because she was in pain. I wasn't angry at her for making that choice, because honestly, I probably would have done the same thing. I was not, or have not ever been angry at her at all. Nor was I angry at anybody. At this point, back in December, I was still angry at myself, and I was angry at God. And I was upset more than anything. I was just so upset. I don't even think I was angry at God. I think I was just upset with him. Just because I can't imagine this world without my grandma's ray of sunshine. I can't imagine her not being on this earth. And for the doctor to say that it's back, and if we fought it again, it just come back. It just, that tumor is what she called basically a boomerang. It was just going to keep coming back. And, okay, I'm trying really hard not to cry. It was, give me one Christian on earth who has not been angry or upset with God at one point in their life. And you can't. That's just something I feel like every Christian goes through, because every person has just this moment in their life where they're like, wait, why are you letting this happen? What is going on? I don't like this. Fix this. You're supposed to be a God of miracles. I'm praying for one. Show me it right now. Everybody goes through that, whether you're a Christian or you're not. Even if you're not a Christian and something like this happens, you're immediately praying. But I was still just, and I never doubted him. I never ever just said, okay, that's it, I don't believe in you anymore. I still believe, and believed at that time, and that he is a God of wonders, and he can, I still prayed to him, and I gave him praises when it happened, and I took it as a punishment, in a way, for her getting sick and for him letting it happen. I took it as a punishment on myself. I took it as, okay, what did I do wrong for you to let this happen to her? Why wasn't it me? Why can't, I'll trade her places, I promise. She just, and we had so much going on. My sister was about to have her baby, and, just a lot of stuff that she wanted to be around for. And she's still around. I don't want to make it sound like she's passed away. She's still here. But I took it as like, okay, do I need to fix something? Like, who else is going to happen to? What did I do wrong? Everyone's a sinner. That's in the Bible. That's why, Jesus died on the cross for our sins, but he died it because our sins are forgiven. And there's that forgive word again. He did that because he loves us, and he forgives us for not being perfect. But just because I knew that piece of information, I thought I had the one sin in the whole world, that somewhere in my life I caused all of this to happen. I just kind of, and that just spiraled me down and down and down and down to like this deep, dark depression and anxiety, where, because I was just so upset and angry at myself, because I lived this life of sin, and it was my fault that this is happening. Science, whoever you want to say whose truly fault it was, I felt like it was my fault. I did something somewhere in my life for my grandmother to have this. I came home one day from work, and I didn't go over to my grandma's house. I just came straight home. I wasn't feeling well. I just really needed some me time. But something told me to read in my Bible. Well, throughout my Bible, I have little sticky notes of phrases and sentences and words that just brighten my day and make me praise God. As soon as I opened it, there were 2 sticky notes on that one page. One was, forgiveness is not for other people, it's for you. And 2 was, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest warriors, his strongest soldiers, was exactly what it said. God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. And I immediately closed my Bible, fell on my knees, and broke down and was praying about, I was asking for his forgiveness, because it wasn't fair to anybody around me, and it wasn't fair to a God who has proven time and time again that he cares and loves for me, to be blaming him and be blaming myself for something that nobody had control over. This is just a part of the plan. You know, everybody dies. Some more sooner rather than later, sooner than we want them to. But everybody has a time limit on this earth, and her time is near, and I've made peace now that, you know, when she passes, that not only will she be with, you know, God and on the pearly gates of heaven, she'll be with her parents. And if you don't believe any of that stuff, that's okay. I have no shame in admitting that my belief is that. I know there are people who may watch this up to this point and be like, oh, well, this is where I turn it off because I don't believe in heaven and hell. And that's on you. I can't make you believe in something you don't want to believe in. I can't sit here and tell you, like, nope, you know, you have to believe in this, and you have to do this, and you have to do that. That's not what we're told to do. We're told to be evangelists, and this is my way of doing that. But God isn't mad at me for being mad at him. And if he was mad at people for being mad at him, he would not be pretty happy. He would be pretty angry all the time. He showed me that I needed to forgive myself for all the pain I caused myself, but not only that, all the pain that I caused everybody around me. I put the people closest to me in pain because I was angry. I mean, I was lashing out at Aaron. I was just grumpy at work. I had no emotion in my face. I showed up to work, did my job, and I went home. I didn't have fun. When I was off of work, I'd either be at home just moping around, or if I was out with my family, I would just be walking around the store moping, or at dinner moping. And that puts them in pain because they're like, wait, what did we do wrong? Why are we getting the burnt end of the stick? Being angry about something and at someone that did nothing wrong to you is not okay. But that's what I was doing. He should, his love and care for me isn't gone, and he's not gonna love me or show me any less. He's gonna continue to give blessings in my life, because throughout this whole time and throughout my whole life, I never stopped praising him or anything that he was doing. He just showed me that sometimes this happens, and it's gonna be okay. He's gonna take care of her. Everyone has to go at some point, and he's keeping her around till she's absolutely ready to go, until he's ready to welcome her. And that's their conversation to have. That's something that I don't need to be a part of. I just have to make peace with the fact that there's going to be one day, and many days on after that, that she's not going to be around. And growing up and having your friends have their grandparents pass away, you're like, okay, well, I have a long while for that to happen. And I'm 23, so I've had a friend whose grandparents passed away when she was 5. So, it's just, I'm very, very blessed and lucky to have had as much time as I've had with her. And I've never taken it for granted, nor will I ever take it for granted. I have all those memories of her and with her that I will have for the rest of my life. And I have the amazing opportunity to completely just spread her joy of how she, you know, how she caused me so much joy. I have the opportunity to now share that with my future children one day, and she's like, you know what, your great grandma was the most amazing lady. But when he showed me that there was no reason for me to be as angry as I was, that I needed to forgive myself, I was wondering, I'm like, okay, well, I can't just say, oh, look in the mirror, and be like, hey, Nikki, I'm sorry. Sorry about the whole thing. I didn't mean it. Oops, my bad. No. And there's, you know, and the stuff I'm about to say, I do it basically every day. Because I'm a work in progress. We are all work in progresses. And there's been something that either has happened to you or that you've done that you need to forgive yourself for. Because forgiving yourself is a lifelong battle. Because you're always going to do something to upset you. You're always going to do something to anger you. But number one, I take 10 to 20 minutes to myself every day. And I allow myself to break down, to scream, to cry, to yell, break stuff, whatever I need to do. I allow myself 10 to 20 minutes just to have a full mental breakdown. Just allow myself to feel all the feelings that I'm feeling, whatever upset me in the day, whatever just has just been weighing on me. I allow myself to fully break down. Because after that breakdown, like, a sense of peace is just laid on top of you. You're like, okay, now that I've felt all that and I've dealt with all those feelings, I can calm down and look at the situation and see what my next move is. I write down every emotion that I feel during the day on a piece of paper, and then I mark out the negative ones. Like, for example, today I felt sad, and I felt anxious, and then I felt proud, and I felt humble. That's, you know, sad and anxious, I would scratch out until the paper starts to tear. You just scratch out that negative feelings. Something about that motion of scratching out bad things, you know, marking out the bad things, it has just this healing thing to it. I can't explain it, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just saying this is what works for me. Sing or listen to music. Music has a therapy element. This is number 3. Number 3 is to just have music on. Either you sing to it, you dance to it, you listen to it, something. Music has a therapy element to it, and you use it. Don't, you know, it doesn't matter if you're good or bad at dancing or singing or whatever. Just use a therapeutic element to something that we hear all the time. Talk to somebody. This is number 4. Talk to someone. Vent to someone. You know, it's okay to talk about what's going on. It's okay to talk. It's okay to share whatever you're feeling. It's okay to just open yourself up to a conversation with somebody. But at the same time, once you're done venting and once you are done expressing everything, be that same thing for them. Turn around and listen to them. Let them vent. Because I guarantee you, that person that you just vented to needs to do venting as well. You have to listen to people in order for people to listen to you. And then find the positive things in everything and stay positive. And that's something that, you know, number 5 right there, stay positive and find positive things. That is a daily struggle for me. I'm not gonna lie. I have such a hard time finding something to be positive about and to stay positive about every day. You know, my mind just goes straight to, oh my gosh, that really upsets me, and now my whole day is ruined because one little inconvenience in my day just sucked. Instead, I could turn around and be like, you know what, that did suck, but this awesome thing happened, or I ate some really good, you know, some of the symbols, I ate some really good food. That's a positive, you know. It's something that I struggle with. I don't have the answer to how to do it. If you do, please tell me, because I'm not good at that. And then 6, and this is, you know, what I do, and not everybody has to do it. Talk to God, because He's there, you know, and He's always going to be there, and He's never going to leave. So talk to Him, pray to Him, praise Him, read your Bible, listen to Christian music, just something that you associate with God. Do it. Talk, write, read, something. Because He is a therapist. When you pray to Him and you're praising Him, and when you talk to Him, it's therapy. Some people don't believe in that, and if that's your choice, that's okay. This is just what I do, and these are some things I do every day. And all in all, if I do all 6 things together, it'll take me about an hour. And some of these may not work for you, but something somehow and somewhere will, and you have to find that. I'm not perfect. I'm still going through so much, but I'm not angry anymore. I forgave myself, and I forgave everyone around me, even if they don't even know that they did anything wrong. If I just was angry at them in my own mind, I forgave them, because it's a part of my process in forgiving myself. In forgiving myself, I'm more open and more able to feel more things and more able to be honest with who I am. I don't have the answers to anyone's problems, including my own. I don't have the answers to all of my problems, but I'm willing to go and find them, and I'm willing to go deal with them. You have to be open to experiencing things that you don't want to experience. And in doing that, there's going to be some healing there. You're going to have your eyes open to much more possibilities. This has gone on longer than I wanted it to, so I'm going to kind of end it there abruptly. But I'll continue this, not over this subject, but I'll continue just being real and open, probably once every 2 weeks, if not once a week. It just depends on scheduling with work and other jobs and babies and all that stuff. Just life. But yeah, so these are just things that I do and I do them every day to be a better person, in my opinion. So I hope that hearing this and listening to this, watching this has helped somebody. If it has, please let me know. If it's somebody I know personally, I would love to just sit and chat with you. And if I don't know you personally and this is something that helped you, comment down below or message me on one of the social media sites, and I'll talk. I have no problem talking. That's one of the reasons why I have a YouTube channel. I can't just sit in this chair and make this video and be like, okay, well, here's all the things y'all need to do about forgiveness. Like, I have all the answers, and I don't, and then not be open to discuss it and not be open to talk about it and help people. And if I did that, I would be, 1, a liar, and 2, just like the most uncoolest person in the world. So yeah, comment down below, subscribe to see more videos. I know last night I posted the college football week 1 review, talked about some OU and some Heisman, and later on, next week, I will be posting 2 football videos, one on Monday and one on Tuesday. Monday will always be college football, and Tuesday will always be NFL. And then probably later on next week, if not early the week after, I'll be posting another one of these open and real videos. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. This is Nikki. Thanks.